Hey everyone, happy November. I'm here for our market update for Bakersfield, just to go over a couple of the numbers from last month, what we saw over the last couple months, what we saw last month, see if we can spot any trends moving forward. So looking into the numbers from last month, we have pretty much a similar amount of inventory still in the market that we've had for the last about 4 months or so. So inventory shot up. In March, it was still really low, and it started to step up from March to April, May, June, and then pretty much for July, August, September, and October, we've been hovering right between 837 and 850. That's how many houses we have active for sale on the market. Sold is kind of the same over the last few months. We have a few less solds this month than we had the month before. Pendings are just about the same as last month. Interesting thing though is that we had an influx of listings over those first few months. In March and April and May, we had a lot of new listings come onto the market, which is part of what spiked the inventory in Bakersfield, and we had pretty much the same amount of solds. So that's why if new properties are coming on the market and the solds are staying the same, we just have more left over at the end of the day. But those new listings are actually starting to come down quite a bit. So we were having 793 added in May, 794 added in June, but then in October, we really only had 524 new listings added to the market, and we had 378 closed. So we're seeing slightly less buying activity, slightly less listing activity. Overall, a lot of the numbers are starting to come down. It's starting to slow down a little bit. I think as the interest rates are higher, buyers aren't as active and anxious to hurry up and snag the first thing that comes along, which is part of it. And I think sellers are starting to realize that. So they're kind of waiting for to see what interest rates are going to do before they put their house on the market. Now, it's still a seller's market. We still only have about a month and a half or so of inventory left, as opposed to when we had almost nothing just a few months ago. Still a pretty good seller's market. It probably still will be for a while given our inventory and our buying rates. One thing that's really interesting to note, though, is that our average sale price in Bakersfield was in the low 400s, from 400, 408, 412, that kind of thing. And it was in 400 for July and August. And then in September, it dropped to 379. But then last month, it went from 379 up to 396 again. So it popped back up almost to 400,000. So the sale prices in Bakersfield are not on a super hard downward trend. Now, I don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of months. Interest rates have gone up still since, but interest rates were climbing even back in August, September, and October. They were still climbing, and that's still where our average sale price is, 396. I know from personal experience in our listings that we have, we're still getting offers that are being overbid, over asking price quite a bit. So I know that there's still demand there for good houses that are priced reasonably. Instead of maybe 6 months ago, you put a house in the market and you get a dozen offers all over asking, when can you close as soon as possible, that kind of thing. We're usually seeing maybe a couple offers come in over the first week. And then in that second week, we're really starting to see, as people look at the rest of the houses available and they circle back to the houses that they really, really liked and the prices that they really like, then they're starting to really hone in on those and bid those up. So it's a little bit of a different market. Houses are sitting a little bit longer, but it's not like houses are sitting for a month or two. And for the most part, they're only sitting for about a week or two before you really start getting a lot of those offers come in. Still a good, strong seller's market, a better buyer's market than it has been in the past. I know that interest rates are really high and it's kind of hard. Prices come down a little bit. Sellers are usually more willing to help with closing costs and other terms and stuff like that. So still a pretty healthy market here in Bakersfield. We're starting to come to a little bit more of an equilibrium as far as buyers and sellers markets. We still have a little ways away before we hit a neutral market. We're still in quite a bit of a seller's market still. I know it doesn't feel like it as much since where we were the last year or two, but we're still in a seller's market, still showing that properties are going above asking. We'll see what happens over the next couple months, but numbers still look pretty strong. Doesn't look like we're absolutely tanking. We'll see what happens again with interest rates. I know interest rates also came down between 0.5%, 0.75%, something like that over the last week or two. So that's helped boost some activity. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen next month as far as all those statistics go. But we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll let you know what happens for next month.